Apple just ran their big software keynote, which showcased all the new updates that are coming to their devices later this year. And yeah, it's quite a lot. Now, I'm particularly interested in how some of this might affect iPad users, so I've made a cheeky rundown to save you watching the entire 90-minute keynote. You're welcome. Before we get started, it's worth pointing out this was a bit of a weird event from Apple, and I'm not just talking about Joz dressed as a hippie shouting the name of the new macOS release from a camper van full of women, although now that I think about it, that was pretty weird. It's called macOS Golden Gate, by the way. Also, there was a whole section where Craig Federighi was walking along like he'd never seen sunlight before. What was that about? And the other odd thing was that they didn't really focus on any one platform at all. Normally, they just take each of their devices and talk about what's new for that device in the latest software version for that device. But this time, they basically just showed the iOS 27 logo, listed the names of the versions, and then moved on. But I do think the general idea here is that the changes and new additions they talked about are pretty much coming across the board, although there's no real way of knowing how until we get our hands on with the beta releases. The big loud message here was AI, and yep, Apple have really tried their best to come back from all the broken promises of 2024 and are committed to deliver the on-device, privacy-first AI that they told us about a couple of years ago. Firstly, there's a completely redesigned Siri experience. They literally put together two words that most people hate, Siri and Apple Intelligence, and they called it Siri AI. This will include a dedicated Siri app that will track all your conversations with Siri across your Apple devices. And yeah, just the very fact that you'll be able to hold a conversation with Siri now is different. Plus, you can tweak it beyond just the voice, so you'll be able to adjust the expression and pace and make it say things like this.
Jaws said, "Team, these apricots are peak. Have they always been this good? Why has no one told me? I'm telling you, man, I've been changed. Clear the fridge. No. Clear all the fridges."
And honestly, when I heard that, I think I cringed so hard, I actually entered my own belly button for a moment. Anyway, new Siri will do deep contextual searches across all your apps, so expect to be able to ask it for something and it'll know about all your emails and messages, photos and files too. Some of the examples they showed were actually pretty interesting, like taking a series of building quotes in different formats and then pulling them together, or being able to surface flight details when you call the airline so that you have all the correct information to hand. Secondly, there are now various features where you can just ask Siri to make stuff for you. Like if you want a Safari extension that saves recipes from websites, you can just describe that extension and then voila, it's there. It looks pretty cool. Or, and this is one I've been really keen to see for a while, you can harness the power of Apple shortcuts in exactly the same way. Now, I've never really used shortcuts as it requires a bit of a coder brain, which I don't really have, but now you can just describe the shortcut that you want and the on-device AI will work just fine and make it for you. Anyway, Apple have said that a lot of iOS devices will support the 27 release, including all the ones shown on screen here, although not all iPads will get all the features. There'll effectively be 3 tiers of access. There'll be one tier which is just iPad OS 27 in looks only, which will come to older supported iPads with no Apple Intelligence or Siri features at all. Secondly, there is an Apple Intelligence feature which is coming to M1 iPads and older, plus the latest generation iPad mini. And then the third tier is the most advanced version, which gets the new Siri expressive voice, advanced dictation, which is only available for M4 iPads with 12 gigs of RAM and above. So that's basically current generation iPad Airs or the most recent iPad Pros. Now, aside from AI and Siri, there were a few other things that were announced too, which again are good news for iPad users. And this one is particularly cool as I know a lot of people like to use an iPad to edit and view photos. So this is the ability to reframe an image after it's been taken. And I can actually show you this one because I got access to the developer beta today. Okay, so here's a picture that I took the other day of my kids at the beach. If I go into tools, you can see I've got a new AI logo here, and along with cleanup, which has been there a while, there's now extend and reframe. So if I hit reframe, you can see I can pull the image around like this and all the edges go all blurry. Now what I want to try and do here is get the horizon line on the grid like this. So if I do that and then click reframe, my iPad will now use on-device AI to fill in all the parts of the image that weren't there when I took it. And there we go. It's actually done an incredible job of that, I'd say. It's also clipped out those people in the water there by my son for an all-round better looking image. So this will work with any photo, not just one that you've taken on an iPhone or an iPad. Now, I guess the key question that's in my head at the moment is whether all of this has come a bit too late. Claude by Anthropic has been shipping updates by the bucket load lately, and things like co-work and design and dispatch, where it can actually take action on things even if it's not on the same machine. I do wonder whether Apple's game of waiting for others to get in first and then observing and then just trying to do it better will work this time. I know a lot of people, myself included, who are really wedded to other AI systems, and this is going to need to really deliver to beat the likes of OpenAI and Anthropic at their game. Also, a bit like Apple Intelligence a couple of years ago, Siri AI actually won't be available to iOS or iPadOS in the EU at launch for reasons. Now, the keynote wasn't just about AI, even though that was the main message. There were lots of new other features buried in the intro where the presenters talked about incremental improvements to the OS, things like opening app speeds and rounded corners. Honestly, there was an entire section on rounding the corners properly in apps, which is nice, but come on. Now, one big update I am looking forward to trying: AirPods now get the ability to customize the EQ, which tracks across all your devices. I reckon this has been long overdue, and I'm really ready to give it a go. Another large portion of the keynote was dedicated to child safety features, which when it comes to iPad is actually really relevant to me. Now, my kids are too young to have their own computer or phone just now, but we do use iPads for flights and long car journeys. And Apple have done a huge overhaul here to create things like proper child accounts, plus granular access to websites and messages to prevent malicious or inappropriate content being shown. You can even control access to who the child can contact or be contacted by. Now, Apple have sought access from pediatricians and other child safety associations on all of this, which I think is a really good thing. It did make me wonder though, given that you can set up child accounts, why hasn't account switching in general come to iPad yet? I know a lot of kids have their own iPads, but in a lot of cases they could be shared, but Apple don't make this possible because you can only have one account per device, unlike say on a Mac. I'd really love to see this in a future update for iPads, please. Okay folks, that's all for now. In summary, Apple have just told you that they're the good guys, and they really want to give you an AI that's practical and works and is trusted, as well as want to look after your kids for you, and only in a slightly creepy way. I have downloaded the update, but there's not much I can show you right now, as the new Siri is actually locked behind a long wait list. So I will be sure to make an update to show you what it's all like to use ahead of the public release. But yeah, most of it seems like it'll be a pretty big improvement. How about you though? What are you excited about? Any disappointments or maybe some surprises perhaps? Let me know in the comments. And meanwhile, if you like your iPad content, you'll probably love this one up here. See you next time.